Did you hear what happened to Jimmy Fallon, Jay?
Of all late night talk show hosts, it would happen to Jimmy Fallon, wouldn't it?
It's no secret that late night shows have been dying over the past several years. Their ratings have cratered. No one's tuning into them anymore. They're getting dominated by a cable TV show on Fox News with Greg Gutfeld. And it's been 4 months basically at this point since these late night shows have disappeared off the air after the writer's strike, because clearly these so-called comedians can't write their own jokes and no one has really missed them. And we even got the Strike Force 5. All these late night hosts joined up for a podcast to show just how uninteresting and unfunny they really are. But the whole point of this was to pay for their staff, to pay for their people who are out of work, their unemployed staffers right now because of the strike. And a lot of these guys, including Jimmy Fallon, had reportedly been paying out of their own pocket, some staff members, before they started this thing. Apparently, that's enough, because Jimmy Kimmel, a big report came out in Rolling Stone about his toxic workplace behavior. Report: NBC's The Tonight Show had nightmare work environment. Jimmy Fallon engaged in prima donna behavior. Oh my God, not prima donna behavior. Now I'll make this clear. I'm not really a Jimmy Fallon fan. I don't necessarily care for him that much. I also don't hate him as much as some of the other ones, but I will never get out of my head him singing about Christmas time and getting in line for a booster, during all this propaganda during COVID, all this bullshit. But it doesn't matter how much propaganda you push. It doesn't matter if you pay your staff while there's a writer's strike. It doesn't matter if you do a podcast to try to pay all your staff. That is not enough for Jimmy Fallon. The NBC's Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon suffered from a nightmare work environment that led to a revolving door of showrunners, according to a new report that cited two current and several former employees. So it's like 14 former employees and 2 current ones. They said host Jimmy Fallon's behavior was so erratic, with tales of unpredictable hissy fits and bullying, that some employees ended up in therapy. They also report that he came to work drunk and that they smelled alcohol in his breath, that he yelled at them, that he was mean to them. I don't know. I could definitely see all of this being true and him being a complete asshole. I could also see a bunch of these sensitive little bitches being sensitive little bitches and be like, I can't believe that someone's being demanding at my job, that my boss said something mean to me. So I'm not really sure which side here. We do know that Jimmy Fallon has already fucking apologized. He did a big Zoom call where he said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass anybody. You guys are just the best, blah, blah, blah. I never wanted anything like this to happen. I'm sorry for any mistakes I've made. What do you make of this, Jay?
I think it fits his MO to show up at work drunk. That's probably true.
But I don't particularly care about that as long as he can do his job.
I will say this. The original photo that you showed of all those late night leftist talk show hosts really wasn't much diverse. So maybe that's why nobody cares.
They joked about it.
No diversity and pushing the jab with cringy jab songs and all that stuff like that. And these guys are... I don't know anybody who watches this stuff anymore. That was like a special, unique thing back in the day. Like people loved Johnny Carson, and then it just kind of, and then Jay Leno, I think, kind of carried the torch a little bit. But after that, it's just these guys just literally turned into activists. Like you had Jimmy Fallon had Donald Trump on his show.
He was the only one of the guys that had Trump on like a couple years ago and got a lot of heat for it. Yeah,
but didn't he like apologize for it or just say, "Yeah, I probably won't have that again" or something like that? But still,
that's the thing to me about this apology. Jimmy Fallon apologizes about a lot. I looked up Jimmy Fallon apology, and there was like a fucking shit ton of articles like Jimmy Fallon apologizes for offensive joke on the Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon apologizes for blackface on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Jimmy, like all this stuff. So
it's almost like he's found his routine for, some of the stupid things he does.
Now, to be fair, I am totally fine with Jimmy Fallon being canceled, but it's just because of that terrible ride at Universal Studios. That stupid, Jimmy Fallon Escape from New York or whatever. I went on that for the first time. Jay's like, we got to do this. We got to do this. It is so stupid. It is a dumb premise. It's a retarded ride. So I think he should be canceled just for that ride alone. But not any of this stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I can certainly see Jimmy Fallon being a fucking asshole behind the scenes or doing whatever. I could totally see that being legit. I don't know. I think there's an absolutely equal chance that the reason it was 14 former employees and only 2 current employees are because it's just people who are bitter, who couldn't hack it, who got upset because somebody yelled at them, either because they were doing their job slowly or wrong or whatever. You know, sometimes jobs can get stressful and intense, and sometimes people can be absolute fucking pussies about it. So who knows? But one thing is for sure, it'll be an interesting topic for the next Strike Force 5 podcast.